So you've issued the quote or the proposal to your customer. Now, all you need to do is sit back and wait and see what happens. No, that's not what you need to do. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps you need to take in order to close the sale. More importantly, to accelerate towards the close. So if that sounds interesting to you, hang tight and we'll get right into it. Hi, I'm Shawn Casemore and I help you become a high-performing sales professional, earning more money in less time. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure you click and subscribe to my channel so you get notified each and every time I send out a new video, which is typically every single week. Additionally, you can always click like in this button. That allows more people to see these videos and to share this with other sales professionals. If your strategy around closing the sale is really at the stage at which you issue the quote or the proposal and you figure at that point it's done, if it's the send it and forget about it strategy, then move on to the next one, which by the way can happen to a lot of people, right? If we get stuck in the idea of prospecting a lot, which is important, watch some of my other videos to learn more about why you should always be prospecting. But that said, once we send the quote, really the work has just begun.
Well, my work is done here.
What do you mean your work is done? You didn't do anything.
Didn't I?
Because now we want to move towards the close. And of course, there's going to be all sorts of barriers and obstacles that may pop up. That said, in all the work I've done with sales teams and sales professionals across the globe, there are 4 things that each of them do almost regimented every single time that they issue a quote or proposal and go for the close. That always ensures that they've got a better chance of closing, and of course it accelerates that close so they can close the deal faster. Step 1, the first thing that they do is they always ensure that there's options. Now, you might be selling something in which there already is options, but there are situations where options are often just volume. It's more of the main thing. What you want to do is build out a series of options that your buyer can choose from. Each option is something that should be more enticing than the last.
Yo, man, what's with all this hostility, man?
You should have taken option A.
Here's why. Studies have found from a psychological standpoint that when we give 3 options, 1, 2, 3, a lot of people will end up picking the middle option. So if you build out options that are more valuable than the last one, right, that are more enticing as you go up the list, chances are a lot of people are going to grab this middle option, which is a lot better than this one. There will be some people that'll take that first option. There will be some people that take the third, but the majority of people will take here. Here's what's more important. When you provide options, you avoid your prospect or your buyer having to make the decision of do I or don't I? Right? If I said, hey, here's my price to sell you X, then your decision is, well, do I buy X from Shawn or do I not buy X? That's it. That's really the ultimate decision to make. But if I give you options, you can buy X, you can buy X squared, or even X cubed, then you're thinking, which one of those makes the most sense? It minimizes the chance you're going to move away because I'm giving you multiple options to choose from. So that is strategy number 1 to help you close the sale. Always make sure that there are options present. Strategy number 2 to close the sale. You've issued the quote or the proposal, right? You're in the process of doing that, and presumably that's something that is a follow-up to a conversation. So you've had a conversation and you've agreed you're going to send them the quote as the next step. Before you get off that call, before you leave that meeting, before you hang up on that Zoom meeting, right, and click end, you need to have booked in your calendar and that of your prospect the follow-on meeting to discuss the proposal. You see, again, too many times we issue the proposal or we send out the quote Or you can like this video or comment down below on the strategies you found are successful in closing the sale. Number 3, if you're trying to close the sale, expect objections. Prepare for objections. But whatever you do, don't acknowledge objections. Here's what I mean by that. You should go into every quote, every proposal, every situation where you're attempting to move to the close, you should expect objections. Expect the person's going to have questions and pushback, because when we expect it, we prepare for it.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
As you're progressing to the close, you're ready to respond. You see, when somebody has an objection and we go, let me get back to you on that, or let me talk to somebody about that, immediately we lose momentum. We want to keep momentum going. In fact, if we can accelerate it, even better. The way we do that is we have responses ready. So if we expect that we're going to get objections and we prepare for those objections, what we can do is accelerate by responding. And as I mentioned earlier, don't acknowledge. Somebody says to you, your price is too high. Don't say, of course it's too high. I would not suggest it. There's a lot of experts out there that say, you know what, you should acknowledge objections and agree with them. I don't agree with the fact that you should agree with them. Does that make sense? What I would suggest you do is just say, okay, understand that's a concern. Let's discuss it further. Here's why this is important. Here's why this is this way. Let me share an example with you that I've faced before. Okay, so I never want you to get into the routine or the habit of saying, yes, you're right, the price is high and here's why. That's not where we want to go. What I want you to do though is acknowledge, okay, there is an objection here. I've prepared, I'm ready for it, and now let me explain to you why it is the way it is. All right, so that's strategy number 3. Number 4, Assumptive Close. There's a video right here that you'll see. Try and remember to put a little tag here for it, but it's a video on the Assumptive Close and why I use the Assumptive Close in almost every situation. I tell all of the people that I speak with, all of those that I train, all of those that I coach in sales, that you should always be using the Assumptive Close. Why? Because it allows us to test the water. You wouldn't go to the beach and go running into the water without first going up and dipping your toe to see how cold is this water really. You shouldn't move into any sale any differently. We want to test the waters. We want to put our toe in the water. How do we do that? Assumptive close. So language such as, well, it sounds as if this is something that makes sense for you. I'll get the paperwork over and let you have a look at that, but let's set a schedule right now for how we might get started. Right? There's an example of an assumptive close. I'm assuming you want to move forward. So I'm not going to go into examples here because I've done another video on that again, I'll add the tag above so you can see that. However, here's my suggestion. Make sure that you use the assumptive close as you're in the progress between proposal and close in order to make sure that we're on track, that there's no objections, because assumptive closes will flush out objections, right, which we prepared for, so it's all good, but it helps us accelerate the close. And when we assume things are going to go well, it does not result in what you expect. It oftentimes results in people saying, well, if they're confident we should go ahead, I guess we should. And they're convinced to move forward. Now, a quick bonus tip that I want to share with you. When it comes to closing the sale, time is not your friend. In fact, in the scheme of life, I don't know if time is our friend, but nonetheless, time is never your ally when it comes to closing a sale. If you take too long to get back to the person with a quote, right? If that takes you days, or if they have a question and you don't respond till the next day or a couple days later, or if you have to go to somebody to get a response but you don't let them know that, time is not your ally. Here's why. Most customers, most clients are measuring you and your company throughout the process before you close, and they're determining how responsive is this individual and these people to me and my company. If it's taking you a long time now and we haven't closed the deal, what's it going to be like when we actually pay you? It's probably going to be worse. So time is never your ally. You always want to make sure you're highly responsive to anything that your prospect needs when you're in the sequence or in your sales pipeline moving towards the close. Questions they have, responses they need, get together, assessments, bringing the team together, meet with the board, you name it. No problem, let's do it. How does today sound at 3 o'clock? Make sure you keep time, by the way, in your calendar so that you can do this, because as you get busier, you're going to have more of these direct inquiries and you have to have time to accommodate them. All right, now here's what I've found over the years, that if you're in sales and you're trying to close a lot of deals, it can sometimes be difficult to keep track of where those deals are. Who am I speaking with? Which ones have proposals? Which ones am I going to have my follow-up conversations with? Which meetings are in my calendar? It's for that reason I created my 30-day sales action planner. It's a simple document you can use. You can print it off. You can use it in PDF form, whichever you prefer. And you can use it to track your daily and weekly progress, your goals, your progress, and what you've learned from it as you go forward, so you can keep yourself on track and continue to thrive as you move towards being a top sales performer. If that sounds good to you, there's a link down below. Just click it and I'll send that right over to you once you give me your email address to send it over to you. Now, if you're in sales as well and you want to close a deal, it would be good of you to learn more about influence. So I've created a video for you on how to be more influential in sales right here. Make sure you take a minute to watch it next, as it will add to some of these techniques and strategies we're talking about to help you sell more. Until next time, let's get out there, let's go sell something. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care.